Welcome. Wow, that was welcome to If They Won't Listen to episode 39. When I hit record this week, Zoom must have updated because a little robot said recording in progress.
I know that's definitely new.
Ooh. Oh, you heard it too?
I heard it. Yeah.
Oh, it's for everyone on the call. Getting
So
fancy.
welcome. If They Won't Listen, episode 39. How we doing, guys?
Well, I'm the only person here, and I presume you mean me. I know I'm a
Yeah.
feminine, but no, dude, I'm doing good, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm fucking wicked relaxed. I had a great weekend, and yeah, work is going good. Everything in my got some good neuroplasticity right now, bro. My brain is firing on fucking V12.
Right? Is it you got some ASMR? You got ASMR going off, where you get that little like pleasure vibrating in your head?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
It feels
We
smooth.
should totally do that. Hold on, let me adjust my mic for a second so we can just do that really quick. So here's your ASMR. Scratching your head.
Yep. Uh-huh. That's how you like it. Now you're walking down a staircase.
Now you're walking down.
and now rain is falling.
Now I'm gonna put this plastic bag over your head.
Oh,
Oh man, but that's man, good for you. I mean, I had a good week, as well. When I did a new blog post, kind of journals my life, journal the life a little bit here, mostly about my writing, and I'm getting, I'm really looking at it. Yesterday I wrote a little over 1,000 words for this.
Damn, 1,000 words, bro. You got fucking calluses on your fingertips.
Yeah, dude, check it out.
Oh, look at them. My fingers are bigger. That's manly. You see it?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, but can you squat my beautiful wife? No, because you can't put your hands on her.
I don't. You have me so raw right there. I was about to respond to like you know what I mean. I don't even do squats, and you're like, no, you can't even touch it. The floor is lava.
Shot it. I just I shot wherever I shot where you were gonna go, and just totally just took it, man. I basically Robin Hood you and shot the arrow that you shot.
Oh,
that's what I did. But no, I was looking at the progress that I made for this short novel, and I looked at it and went, all right, I think I got another. I'm doing a sort of like a technical estimate on it, and I'm going, another 2,500 words left on this thing that I have to write, and I can probably kill that off this week if I really put my my mind to it, especially if I target myself, like I do a production target of 750 words when I sit down to write. And I usually end up hitting over that. I'll go 800. I'll go 823. I'll go 850 or 875 or 900 words. But so, I'll probably have a nice rough draft finish this week, so the wife can read it. Have her,
dude, she's your freaking who's the guy who reads it after? Not editor / publicist,
proofreader.
Proofreader. It had a piece something, bro.
Something. I mean, I actually have 3 people. One of them being my wife, and then the other being 2 other writers that know the craft as well, that they're good friends of mine. So I trust them, to read the stuff and not steal it. Right. And they read originally when I was trying to make it into a short story, but then it got too long. Like a short story is 7,500 words. That's, ballpark. And then I think I ended up hitting 15,000 words by the end of it. And I went, this is not a short story. I tried to shorten it down and I only got it down to even 12,000 words. And I went, it's still not a short story. So I said, all right, fuck it. Add on to it. All right, just keep going. Don't stop. Make it into a short novel. And let's get this bitch published. But yeah, I'm really happy about that, especially because recently I turned 35. What's up? Happy birthday.
Woo, you're killing it. Balloons popping, iPhone, confetti falling on you.
Right. And I'm really proud of myself on the progress I've been making on these, on these personal goals. And it's been good. And I'm married. What?
Dude, what
is that?
What? Yeah.
But the funny, what the funny thing is, Ricky, ever since I got this bad
ball
boy,
and chain,
you want to know what I've been hit on more times with this ring on.
It's the God ring. It's the ring that says, I'm so prideful, I'm monogamous. And then someone sees that and they're like, I don't like structure. I'm going to break it. I'm going to drop him like a skyscraper. So, so nonetheless, to anyone listening here, we have maybe a really crazy thing about to happen, and so just stay aware, people. It's me and Leon right now. Spencer may hop in here. He's wrapping up some things, and he might be back from his retreat, and not a literal one, but
His sabbatical. His sabbatical.
his sabbatical. I was trying to think of the word with an H. What the his
Hiatus.
Boom! Thank you, bro. I heard that word at work, and I was like, "Yo, hiatus is so much better than sabbatical." But yeah, no, yeah, but he'll be back from his hiatus at some point, and he's beloved to us. But yeah, so we sent an invite to one guest, and haven't heard back since they're not here. And
Yeah.
we have a backup, and he was sent to, and I was even given a backup for the backup for the aforementioned initial guest. And I said one to them too. So we might have no guests and no
Yeah.
Spencer. We might have Spencer and 2 or 3 guests join all at the same time.
And it'd be crazy.
Yeah, we'll have 6 people in here, and I'll just be like, all right, whoever's name begins with E, start talking.
Right? Or we have to go by some sort of, physical endowment. It's like, all right, whoever is most endowed in terms of their physical prowess, please stand up, and you may take the ground. And then we'll do a whole we'll do like a model city council meeting. We'll vote on, should parking meters bend 90 degrees or some shit. That was so stupid. Why did I say that? Or is this gonna be me and Ricky tonight? We'll talk about how I got a little burn. I can, talk about that. How I was out.
Yeah, you want to know what I want to talk about, bro?
What?
Where are you at? Have you been vaccinated?
No.
Okay, well, I came up with, and I didn't come up with, but there's this crazy guy at work, and maybe he's crazy, or maybe he's like the dude with the cardboard sign who's going to tell me the world's going to end and be accurate. So I don't know what's going to happen, but he thinks the whole world's, about to go through like the fucking rapture, and God is great. And bro, like, he was like, do you know, if you don't listen to God, you're going to, he was like talking about ramifications. And I looked right at him and right at my co-supervisor, and I was like, yo, I don't give a fuck what God thinks about me. Let me tell you that, first of all. And he was all persnickety and fucking turned around. But like, and to each their own, choose your own belief. I
Right?
hope you can shit on my belief. I'm shitting on yours, go for it. But I just don't believe in God. And I am more in the middle side of that though. Like, if one was real, I'd be real quick to be like, my bad, bro. I didn't have enough evidence, and he'd believe me.
or would you be more in what they call an apatheist? Apatheist is an amalgamation of the word apathetic and theist. So the general definition is that you don't really believe or believe in a God or a higher power or whatever. And if the existence were to prove otherwise, if we were to substantiate that there is an existence of a higher supreme being, you wouldn't care any other way. Oh, you exist. All right, cool. Yeah. You want to get Doritos?
I don't know. I think agnostic is probably what I am. Like, I'm 99-1 agnostic. Like, I exist. You know what I mean? That one isn't there. But if one shredded piece of news comes out and Jesus is like, motherfucker, you don't believe me in his sandals, I'm like, yo, bro, my bad. I believe you now.
First of all, let's hook you up. Let's get you some LA Gear light ups. Take them sandies off, bro.
But no, for real. So there's so much going on with the fucking the vaccine and everything going on right now. So the crazy guy at work, I got into talking about religion because that's what he got into in the beginning of a conversation. But
oh my goodness,
so, have you seen the magnet thing?
Yes, I actually have.
Have you seen it in person?
No, I have not.
Okay, and see, that's the discrepancy I'm mixing too.
My roommate's vaccinated. We tried it on him. It didn't work.
Did he have the supposed vaccine that everyone else had too, or was it?
I don't know if I can't remember. I should ask him. I don't think he got because I don't know if he got the Pfizer one or the Moderna one. I remember one of them was a little bit more unsafe compared to the other one, and he got the one that he felt was the more secure. Or
I think Moderna and Pfizer are 2 shots, and Johnson & Johnson, or maybe that's wrong.
You know what? Would you mind? I can go up really quick, just ask him. So I'll be gone for a minute. And you can kind of hum to yourself, or you know what? Sing the lyrics to Poker Face really quick.
Let's put it on the back burner. He'll be okay. No, but so the crazy thing here, man, is like, so I don't know what to believe. I personally heard about the magnet thing, and I went on to this big hunkin' colorful piece of beautifulness next to me, and dude, all my research, like, Google's and granted not DuckDuckGo, but on Google, all my ads came at me where the magnet's fake. Snopes already denied it being a real thing, and a bunch of other things. And so it's like, okay, it's Snopes, not the most reliable fucking source. They've actually fucked up a whole lot. So and they might even be agenda based.
They snoped themselves at one point.
Right, and I forget what it was about, but they had one real big defining thing where they were like, no, this isn't true, and then it came out to be true, and it's like, well, bro, you're the people, if you didn't know, you could have said you don't know, but you lied, or were presumptuous to say the very least. But
yeah,
so if you were to Google it and look it up, it would tell you it's fake. But now, so my fucking, I didn't believe it at all. Now there's a bunch of people with the vaccine at work. We didn't try the magnet or nothing. I don't carry around a fucking magnet. But my supervisor's wife's grandparents posted on Facebook like the second day I found out about it that they were doing it. And I was like, I asked him, I was like, are they YouTubers or like what? What is a 72-year-old dude doing with the magnet on his shoulder? And like, I don't know what to believe because I'm kind of scummy in a few of the few hundred people I am in my head, that I turn on like light switches whenever it's useful for me. And even like the bad people in me, like they fucking they get over on people just, by like getting over on people. You hear about someone putting a magnet on them, bada bang, bada boom. You want to get enjoyment. So you Elmer's glue a magnet and you stick it to yourself and you just make sure that when you do it, you put it on your left shoulder on the backside and you turn it around, you put it, you know what I mean? Like I've seen way more impressive things that were edited in a video than something that sticks to someone's shoulder. You know what I mean? Like I just have.
Ricky is not impressed, guys. All right,
like,
so stop posting it. It ain't cool.
Like it's a new version of invisible stick glue that works once and doesn't work another time. You make your right shoulder cold with an ice cube and it won't stick, and your left shoulder's hot so it sticks. I don't fucking know. That's even too elaborate for this shit. But I don't know what to believe. If I look it up, I can't verify it. So that's disconcerting.
We just need somebody to do it right in front of you to have that substantiation right there. Proof is in front of you. There's no more room for doubt, right?
I see. Even then, though, because you could go to the extreme. You could have someone cut the underside of your armpit and put a magnet, and then one would stick to your outside shoulder. And now that is the most extreme scenario of this. Not that I think anyone has done that, but don't you dare equivocate to me that there isn't people willing to go the extra mile on the extra mile for dumb shit. Like that they're always people used to hang themselves by fish hooks on fucking Ripley's Believe It or Not. Don't you tell me people don't? Probably. That's still probably on OnlyFans. They're probably killing it.
I mean, I've been to festivals.
I don't look up hook porn often. I'm usually looking at Captain Hook, not Mrs. Hook.
No. You're only into Lon John's. You're only into Lon John when he's I get it. When he's right.
And so crazy magnet thing, whole OMG, right?
Right.
Now we've got heart inflammation on young people, not old people. Fuck the old people. Old people die in general. Like they have pre-comorbidities. Like that's rough to begin with. This shit ain't great for 50-year-olds. But I wasn't concerned for my daughter, and I wasn't concerned for me for the COVID aspect. But now I'm actually legitimately concerned because I can't verify that a magnet exists by a source that I would put my whole life in. Just sources that I think are kind of moderately responsibly truthful. But dude, now they're saying that people from the ages of 20 to 30 and 15 to 30 get, like, in rare cases, get fucking heart inflammation. And they're like, we don't really know what causes it. We just pretty sure it's related. And yeah, it happens a few different ways for a few different people, but you get heart inflammation. And I'm like, I don't think I need to even know what the fuck that is to know I don't need my heart inflamed.
Well, I mean, just the wording of it alone, if you know what inflammation is, and you know that your major organ is your heart, right? It's what beats the life in you.
Yeah. And unless you're juxtaposing the adjective inflammation and saying that when you breathe and it gets bigger, that's it inflaming, then okay, I'll conflate that maybe you could be playing some word fuckery, and maybe they're just saying your heart is a 32nd of a second faster or slower, and so it's changing the inflammation rate or something. But that's not what they said. That it's fucking. I know it's clickbait world. That's not doesn't help either. But still, it's like fuck. And I found that on like 4 different web pages. If you Google that, there's no question. It says in rare cases, and mostly amongst young people in my age bracket, in your age bracket.
Yeah.
Get heart inflammation. And it's like, okay, so we've got possible magnets. we've got heart inflammation.
Yeah.
I can't verify the miscarriage thing, but I've definitely heard that. Oh, sorry. I heard another piece of details on that. So like
Yeah.
6 months ago, they were talking about possible miscarriage things. And I just heard 2 weeks ago that what they actually found out was that people who were taking birth control, the hormones in birth control were affecting the vaccine or something. As some lady at my work told me, there's no verification here. Don't listen to people. I'm retarded. But like, dude, yeah,
Wicked.
so there's so much fuck. You know what I mean? Like I was pro-vaccine for a minute. I was like, I trust science. Like it makes sense. 2 + 2 is 4. They're gonna hit me with something that I even know how the immune system works. Like I'm not a immunologist, but I understand on the way that Neil deGrasse Tyson can explain to me the the stars and the astronomy of everything simply.
Yeah.
I understand the simple dumbed down version of how the immune system works.
Give me the layman's.
In layman's term, immune system has two factors. The first factor is the frontline defense, and it takes care of everything. So when anything that your body perceives as a threat is in it, white blood cells, boom, it starts attacking it. Bada bing, bada boom, it's getting it. Like fucking Osmosis Jones. You know what I mean in that
I
movie?
love that movie.
Long time.
Accurate, son.
But yeah, so they start attacking everything, bada bing, bada boom, and then while the first wave of defense is attacking with a general, I'm gonna just generally throw everything I have at it in my first system. The second system builds the actual new version of the cure based on what the first system is fighting. So that way, when the second system kicks in, boom, it throws it out of you for good. And then the next time you fight it, that's the whole the whole part of your immune system that learns like muscle memory how to fight
antibodies.
Something. Boom. Once it has the little Lego piece to beat it in the algorithm, it's beating it. Boom, you're past it. And so that's the whole,
the key brick. It was the key brick in this whole fucking set, baby.
Yeah, and so and that's kind of the premise of giving yourself the flu in a shot. You know what I mean? Was you know what I mean? You give it.
Yeah.
Welcome. What's going on? Oh, how you doing, man?
It's Corey.
Yes, sir.
This Corey.
No
disrespect, Corey. We are recording. No disrespect. I totally forgot your name was Corey.
Wow.
He said the guy who went through a divorce, and I was like, man, who the fuck is that? my memory is so bad. Now that you've joined, I remember everything about you.
And then Dolores is also joined, and I think that's his the way he connects as well.
I merged them.
Yeah.
And,
all right, good.
And I'll change his name to Corey instead of Dolores.
Yeah,
boom.
Perfect.
Yeah, no, we were just talking about 10 seconds or less. I was talking about all the different things that are coming up with this vaccine, with the whole magnet on the shoulder thing, mostly unverified, but still super weird that everyone, such a large percentage of people were doing it. There was heart inflammation amongst young people, possible miscarriages based on people using birth control. And I was just bringing up how the immune system works, and the first system fights all general things, and the second system tries to build a special puzzle piece that solves the exact illness, yada yada. And so I was trying to get to the point that like the mRNA is just giving your body what they believe is a boost to find the puzzle piece to fight COVID faster when you get it, if you get it. And so it's just a giant boost. And so explain to me that way, it sounds safe. It really does. But now we just, with all the aforementioned magnets and heart inflammation and fucking, I don't got to worry about a miscarriage. If I do, I have way bigger problems.
Right.
but yeah, what do you think, Corey? Are you vaccinated? Have you seen any of this magnet shit?
No, I haven't been paying too much attention to it. I haven't been vaccinated yet. My work probably would like it. Mm-hmm. The thing is we're working so damn. I mean, I just got back from 20 days in Pecos, Texas.
Oh, nice.
And then in about 10 days, we're going to be going out to West Virginia. So I'll be out there for 30 days, back for a few, then back out for another 90 days. So.
Wow, that's a big turnaround.
I really don't have a whole lot of time. I mean, I can get the 2-stager, but I have to time it right. And,
Yeah, but so have you haven't seen any videos on the magnet or anything?
No, I haven't. I'm going to be paying attention though.
Yeah, so I just learned about this like a week and a half ago. But if you go online and look it up, there's legitimately, and by legitimately I mean the videos exist. I don't know the legitimacy of the video, but people who got vaccinated in shoulder X, right or left or whatever, they'll hold a magnet up to the opposite shoulder and it falls, and they pick it back up and put it to where they got the vaccine and it stays. And so people are saying that there's like magnetic properties to it. And of course, there's people saying there's a microchip in it or that it's made of fucking nanobots. Like I've heard some real wild shit. And
a lot of conspiracy theories out there. And, and I agree. Sometimes you don't know what to believe, but I try to apply how the way these, these allegations and these extreme, like alarming news, and how does it fit into my life? And it's just a really weird algorithm in my mind, the mechanism of my mind that just goes, look, man, I don't have the vaccine. I'm not worried about it. And I mean, not anytime soon am I going to get vaccinated, because I mean, the way I look at it, it's like I haven't got it yet. My wife has got the antibodies, and I know a lot of people are very, very, very strong. You got to get vaccinated, blah, blah, blah. Right. I get that. And like I said before, I believe in pro-informed decision. If you feel the vaccination is good for you, great. I still need someone to explain to me how an unvaccinated person is a threat to a vaccinated person. I mean, I do need to have explained to me like I'm 5, because I don't understand that. I mean, you have the immune system boost, right? So you should be fine in theory.
Yeah, theory, yeah. But that's the problem, is like, if someone has meddled their hands in the pot of planned obsolescence, like knowing that this is something that normally has a 1 to 4 year turnaround, and actually doing properly, safely, and knowing these side effects, we're going to do it in 6 months or less because we think the whole world's going to die bubonic plague style. And now, you know what I mean? People are having, like, it would be rash of me if I was a betting man, with all of the conspiratorial type side effects of this. My money is on there'll be more side effects, or there'll be less from now on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're not even fucking 6 months into having the vaccine full, heavily pushed around, and with this, like, there's more than 4 very big things that I don't want to happen to me. And COVID's one thing. 4 bad things are 400% one bad thing. That's how math works. And 400% worse things aren't usually what I go for in my life.
Yeah.
I know.
You don't want that. And I mean, let's look at this. Let's take a gander at the statistics here on worldometers.info.
Oh, I'm sure they're super accurate.
I mean, I go to they one of the things about this website is that they show you where they pulled their sources from. So such as 7.8 billion, current world population, which they pull from, let's see,
we're not over 8 yet. Jesus.
We're almost at, we're getting damn near close from what it seems. Shit. You would think with the whole the pneumonic plague that we got going on. But okay, so according to this, we have 167 million recorded cases around world. 3.4 million of that 167 million is deaths. 148 million have recovered from the virus. So let's go by country really quick on this one. And I know a lot of people freak out, but I'm a fucking nerd for statistics sometimes, man. Because I know everybody reports the damn death tolls all the time, and I'm like,
But hey, they've been inaccurate from the start. That's the thing that sucks, though, is like, if you said more people in your hospital died from COVID than not, people who were getting bit by sharks were getting COVID deaths, because they were like, if you die as Richard from a shark, we're not going to get paid. In fact, we're going to have to foot your fucking ambulance bill. But if we say you died from COVID,
we get a little bit more money.
We will get paid for your ass. And it's like, okay, well, which one is applicable, for the hospital being a giant box of money? Like, hospitals aren't about people, they're about money.
Right.
Now, there could be a 50-50 in that, where like they only break even and they help the people, but no, they lie in their pockets and they help the people as a subverted means. Like they're not like, we'll help you. That's why they treat anyone, because they're like, we'll treat anyone. Your car, 15% APR. The hospital, 50% APR. Don't have insurance? We don't care. We'll just mark it up. The same thing that cost Joseph a $50 copay is going to cost you $800. Why? Because fuck you.
So let's take a gander at this. I know I can't share my screen at the moment, but we're at 30 in here in America. We're at 33.8 I'll round up 33.9 million infected. 600,000 of those are dead.
You can share screen now. Go ahead.
How do you do that? Just do the share screen?
Yeah, and then click the window you want to show.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I don't know, man. Statistics get me weary, but I guess they're a baseline. If I'm not gonna go fucking ask people the statistics because I don't trust people. But I guess if I was gonna, based on the preface that wherever the statistics are coming from is accurate, I listen to them. But it's just I don't fucking my grandfather used to tell me that a very smart way to look at life is believe nothing you hear and only half of what you see.
That's definitely one way to live. Okay, so here, let's take a gander look. So, and the number that I always see news reports and everyone else, they don't ever report this number for some reason. I don't understand that. It's like we could talk about the deaths all day and that's all everyone ever talks about, but no one talks about this number right here. And that you do the math on this is 0.4%. This is 85.
Mm-hmm.
And still, obviously whatever unclosed cases are still open, right? So let's go to my state, Florida. And we're looking at,
you guys have been more wide open than
we're
the
we're in the top
we were going to
three.
have from OnlyFans.
Yeah, it's all good, baby.
Yeah.
That's what we got here. 36,000 deaths, 1.9 million recovered from this virus. My grandmother, who has emphysema, included.
Yeah, I've got a few of my relatives too. Mostly ones who were pretty unhealthy, but
let's take a look at Vermont.
Probably terrible because everyone from fucking Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and New York all were like, "Let's go."
You're all the way down at the bottom, man. You're at 50. You're at rank 51 out of everybody. You're the least threatened state.
Yeah, that's only because there's like no one here. It's trees and steers,
and apparently hogsweed.
Dude, seriously, hogsweed's scary as fuck. Corey, do you know what hogsweed is?
No, I don't, man.
Hogsweed is a plant that I don't know if it's indigenous to Vermont, but it certainly exists predominantly in Vermont. I've never heard of it in Mass or New Hampshire or New York, and I've spent time in all of them. And in certain counties in Vermont, there's signs about hogsweed. Hogsweed's a plant that's shaped like a big dinner plate made of flowers. It's like 12 inches in circumference, 6 inches in circumference as it's growing, and it's covered in dust. And if you're running through a field frolicking like the giant pussy I am, and you run into a hogsweed plant and get the dust in your eye, the pollen or the spores, whatever we're gonna call it, you go blind. It's spores.
Yeah,
kill your eyes.
I decided to read to look a little bit more into it, and it's a very threatening, plant.
Dude, it's super
yeah.
I could walk up to anyone on the street with a circle of yellow roses on the outside of my bouquet, then a ring of red roses, and then a ring of pink roses, and on the inside just have a little bucket full of freaking hogsweed. Smell my flowers, and I toss it towards you. Dude, you're blind in both eyes. Like, I can't even buy a medicine that could make me go blind if I throw in someone's eyes. You can't buy acid at Rite Aid. You know what I mean? What am I gonna throw salt in your eyes and hope it dries them out? Like, that's like some, harvest that shit and sell it. Hey man, you want some blind powder? I got you. Whoever you don't like, blind them.
What's up? I got you now. You're running my
like when people open their hand and do that blow thing. that would be a great pocket to have in your fanny pack in the middle of a Batman fight. Oh, you want to fight me? With no eyes. You know what I mean? Oh man.
Now I have the upper hand, Wayne.
Right. All right. Hey, we're 30 minutes into bullshit now, and I think we're solidified in our guests. I don't think Spence is coming, and Corey, you are our backup for the first guest. So
yeah.
Welcome. Spencer's on his shit. But yeah, I remember from last time. Why don't you tell us something crazy about your
Alaska.
life again, man? Yeah, dude, your
helicopter.
I love that the fucking crazy helicopter trips and shit, man.
I refer my notes and I have it right here. Helicopter-Corey.
Yeah. So that any cool stories? We only scratched the surface last time.
Well, this last trip we had 2 tornadoes, 2 thunderstorms, and 2 earthquakes, all in Pecos, Texas.
The triple whammy.
Right? Seriously, all in 2s too.
Well, yeah. And I thought it was interesting because I was looking at the weather, and they came up and they said they were going to have 1/2 inch hail in Wyoming, possibly. which it's happened before. But you look at the weather report for where it was in Texas, and it said nickel-sized hail.
What? Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm like, I guess you get that close to Mexico, and they just give up on measuring, and they got to have like some physical object that people can pull out a nickel and go, "Oh, that's big."
Yeah, it's as big
Size
as the
I'm
Samsung
not
Galaxy
worried about.
Note.
Yeah, no shit. But it was interesting. I mean, I'm not big on weather that tries to kill you. I really don't like, tornadoes and thunderstorms. I've been in a few bad situations in North Dakota and Colorado, believe it or not. Colorado gets tornadoes up there by Nebraska.
See, I live
Jesus.
here in
And we got
Florida
caught
where
up
we
in
get
one-
the hurricanes and whatnot.
Yeah, I get ice storms, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we've gotten ice storms in Wyoming. It happens about twice a year, and
Wow.
it actually does paralyze.
What?
I mean, we got snow tires, yeah. We've got studs, we got chains, but you get that everything frozen, and it's like, okay, we're not going anywhere.
Oof.
Yeah, no, it locks
stay home.
everything up. The only thing I hate living through it, but the only thing that comes of it is those really cool videos where no one gets hurt, but you see people on a 3-degree street in the city just sliding one after another into an intersection. And it's fucking 300 car pileup. And they all hit each other at 10, so they're all more or less safe. But it was just, I love watching those videos. Just boom, and then here comes the tow truck. Boom,
yeah.
bus.
Send more cars. Send more cars. Keep going. Keep going.
I love gravity, bro. Gravity is such a bitch.
Somehow this problem will fix itself. Just send more cars. Just tell us that's all we got to do, right?
Once the street's full, no one else can come down it.
What's that one trend that you Northerners do where you take boiling water and you toss it into the cold sky?
Yeah, and it freezes.
And it freezes. But then there's always those people who do it and not, taking into account the wind trajectory and get it right back on themselves. Fucking you go, dumbass. When you see stuff like that, you kind of want to you kind of want a eugenics program in a way, not where you're killing anyone. It's just that someone prohibits you or tears up and invalidates your right to vote. And you go, it's cool. You don't need to vote.
You don't need to vote.
You can be reevaluated in a couple of years. You can submit an application. You'll take another test. We'll take a look and evaluate you.
We've all been taking a piss
we'll
before.
adjudicate if you are able to vote again. If you haven't done anything stupid in the last 4 years, you're good, bro. You can go and vote 2030, buddy.
I've had a million times where I've like went over and leaned up against a tree to take a piss, and I got like a bunch of people at a party behind me, and I'm 25 feet into the forest, but as midstream, the wind turns around, and like I'm like, okay, no big deal, and I turn around, and it's like, all right, now I'm choosing between getting covered in my piss and just pissing at 50 people, and it's like, well, fuck, we'll go 50%. Use my hand. You know what I mean? Like,
you gotta pick and choose your battles, I suppose.
Yeah, you gotta be on the fly with paradigm shifts.
When the world decides to give you oysters and you're like, no, I wanted lemons so I can make lemonade. It's all right, fuck it. It's a raw bar tonight, buddy.
It's a raw bar. Oh man. Has there been in your lifetime, Corey? Has there been any crazy things like COVID that you've ever had to deal with, or is COVID kind of the most profound so far?
Tell us about polio.
I mean, COVID really, it got close. I mean, fortunately, nobody in our family was seriously affected by it. But my grandpa was actually affected by polio.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, when and if you study up on your vaccines and stuff, that
was one of the first ones.
And the side effects, when they say recovered, that's one thing that I wanted to mention. They say, well, X amount of people have recovered.
Right.
That's a tricky number because if you consider their lasting effects, the stuff that didn't go away, like some people haven't regained their full sense of smell.
Right.
Some people haven't regained their lung capacity. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's affecting people, the side effects of surviving COVID. I'd like to see that lined up next to the side effects that are coming up from the vaccine.
No, that's a good thing.
Those are two parallels you got to look at, because that's typically how they do medicines and trials. Is they go, okay, It's the old-fashioned, does the preventative measure create a larger risk just in a different form?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So anytime we're doing anything in a job site or something like that, it's like, okay, we're supposed to, most of the time we wear hard hats, FRs, safety glasses, hearing protection, steel-toed boots. You're covered down, you cover completely.
Yeah.
Well, when I'm down there in Texas and it's 97 degrees, 100 degrees, you're putting on all this heavy clothing, plus you've got the temperatures, plus you're in the sun. If it gets over 100 degrees,
I have a
it
heat
changes
stroke.
the whole. Yeah, exactly. So what they do is they start saying, okay, you can only work for so long, then you have to cool down. Mandatorily, you have to drink so much water per hour, because the measure that we're using to be safe creates a different hazard. And
Yeah.
it's the same thing with the medications. When my grandpa did polio, they had the sugar cube, then they had the injection. And I don't remember the guy that came out with an injected method of vaccinating people.
Mm-hmm.
But when he started, he pushed it through. They didn't go through the trials. They didn't go through their regiment on figuring out, is it safe, is it not, so on and so forth. So they botched the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
He distributes all these vaccinations, and guess what he did?
What?
He infected people. So
yeah.
So it actually made it worse because they didn't go through the proper channels and they rushed the whole process.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some comparison there.
Yeah, intentions are a bitch. I say all the time to a lot of people, intentions pave the road to heaven and hell. Like, you know what I mean? You can intend to do good and do bad. You can, tend to do bad and do good. Like, it's not something you can choose when you're conceiving how to do something. That's what you refer to after you've done it. And you're like, fuck.
Really good example is OnlyFans.
How so?
Okay, so I haven't done any research on OnlyFans, other than the fact that we know that it's a lot of webcam models that use it to, do whatever sexual things for an exchange of money. But I think how its original intention was supposed to be a place for where musicians, bands can connect to their fans.
Mm-hmm.
And then
that blew up in their face.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Mom, I made this really cool company where all of me and my favorite artists are going to get together. Okay, Steven, we'll see how it turns out in a year. And then a year later, he's like, Mom, I can pay off your house for you. Oh, cool. Show me your website. We'll skip that. All the bands are busy today, Mom. Sorry.
I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think of other apps that had come out where its original intention was this, but then everyone else used it for something else.
I don't know.
Totally
what I know,
skewed.
that's the only app that has come out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The way you said that was just hilarious. You punned yourself the first sentence after.
Every day.
No, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm really starting to think that I'm now anti-COVID vaccine. Like, honestly, I don't need more reasoning.
Just this vaccine, no other vaccine, not the flu, not the H1N1.
I'm anti-flu
COVID
too. H1N1 still a thing?
Yeah.
You get vaccinated for that?
I'm not vaccinated for anything, baby. I think the last vaccination I've ever got in my life was a flu vax, and that was around college time. And I did it to prove a point because I had a friend who was a conspiracy theorist who explained, those shots are given out just before the biggest shopping season of the year to make people buy shit. And I go, motherfucker, I'll go get that shot and not buy nothing for everybody. How about that? I think I just did it to prove a point.
That's a pretty big I told you so. Hey, look at all these deficits I just inherited from this fucking flu vaccine. But I won the argument. Pride is my view.
Double deuce it. In your face.
No, I don't get flu vaccines, man. I told them not to give my daughter the flu vaccine. I got her the measles and the mumps and like the really important ones that I guess if you don't get will sweep the country again. And I don't want that. So if you can in 30 seconds or less describe to me the efficacy of getting a vaccine, I'll do it. But the efficacy of the flu shot doesn't make sense. It's not 2 + 2 is 4. It's created fundamentally. It's created experimentally, not fundamentally. It's not, you know what I mean?
So that people can buy things on Black Friday. Come on.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Wake up, sheeple. Wake up, sheeple. Let's go. Read your Bible. Okay.
Yeah, it's fucking. I don't even know, man. COVID's changed my perspective on the whole world. I was kind of desensitized to everything before COVID. Now I'm just kind of like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm supposed to care about anymore. You know what I mean? Like the amount of jobs that are closed, cities are destroyed. You know what I mean? We got like I don't know. This is the closest in my mind we've ever been to
We've
a civil
lost
war.
bars. We've lost restaurants. We've lost nurses. No, never mind. They're good.
No, I bet a lot of them died. You know, there's a lot of obese people even in good careers. You know, and the biggest comorbidity factor in America was like that's the reason we got hit so hard. If we weren't like in China, they don't let you get fat. In other countries, if you're fat, you're revered because they're like, why did he get the food? I need to get on his truck with him. You know what I mean?
What is your Chinese sound Indian?
It's the flight officer, the fucking from Zimbabwe or something.
It was a terrible accent.
Well, I didn't proclaim to be good at accents.
Wow.
But
Come on,
dude,
son.
man, in other parts of the world, I find that so crazy that you know what I mean. Literally, there's just people aren't fat. Like the reason Italy was hurt so bad by all this shit was because they're all old, retired fucking men and women. You know what I mean? That's just a bunch of grandparents.
Yeah.
That's all. It's Italy is like a bigger Florida with better terraces.
Yeah, it's true.
It's just old people. It's heaven's waiting room.
Yep. It's very true. And they get mad at you for not speaking Italian. It's very interesting. Whereas people in South Florida get mad at you for not speaking Spanish. What? No puedes hablar. No puedes hablar español. ¿Por qué? In South Florida.
Yeah. No,
I'm in America.
That's one thing I hated about Texas.
You're not in America anymore. You're in Florida. South Florida. You in Miami.
Texas is the same way. Is there any parts of the country that you can think of, Corey, that like just diametrically oppose like the area where you're from? I remember moving to Texas and, I went from having Shaw's and, Hannaford supermarkets and like American ones to nothing but mariachi bands playing and everyone was speaking Spanish. Like I couldn't ask for directions.
Such a culture shock.
Any food was, it was, I was like, this looks right. Fucking blue apple. Okay. Everything was weird in that store. That's all I know. I didn't understand any of the brands. I just knew what mariachi music was.
No.
What about you, Corey? Any crazy parts of the country that you think are just like that? Like Texas is its own fucking place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Texas is. I've done quite a bit of work on the west end of Texas. This place is only about 60 miles east of Odessa.
Okay.
And it was like we were looking at the mountains that lead you into Mexico. There's that mountain range right there on the one side of the Rio Grande, and there's other mountains on the Mexican side. So we're only about 30 miles from the Mexican border, but I haven't had a big problem, typically because I usually run with a group of guys. We're down there in a group, and like in the restaurant inside the hotel, it was prominently Hispanic, but they were all pretty well at speaking English, and they're hospitality. So we didn't run into a lot of problems there. But as for like just the culture, like the days, like Sunday, there's nothing open down there.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Wow.
Sunday, everything is shut down. And we only had like one restaurant we could eat at, and you just forget it's Sunday because we work straight through. We don't have days off. So we work 10, 12-hour days, and then we don't have days off. So by the time you've been down there for your third week, it's like you don't know what the hell day of the week it is. And I haven't had that problem. Alaska, when we were in the village areas, that was different. And they talked really, really super broken English. It was almost like when you listen to a Spanish commercial and they say the words in English that don't translate to Spanish.
Yeah.
That's how you have to keep up with the conversation. Every now and again, you catch an English word and you're like, okay, I know what he's talking about.
I understood Obama on that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
yeah. And they don't make eye contact with you either when they talk.
Really?
The natives up there, they're like looking off into outer space, and they also don't stop talking. They talk when they want to. So it's like interrupting. There's like four people talking, and it's like they're talking to themselves. It was different. It was really different. And you're tiptoeing up there because you're on native land, and you're a representative of a company. So you don't want to upset anybody.
Yeah, that would not be my
work on the register. On the reservations, the same way. You tiptoe around. We do a lot of work on reservations, and you know, all they got to do is walk up and say, I think I can do your job, and you're gone.
Yeah, no, I can't even imagine. I've never been to any place like that. Did you get to experience their 30 days of darkness or anything?
Yes, I did.
That sounds fucking. How cool was that? Was that like everyone running around at night streaking because no one could see them, or what was it like?
Well, the darkness,
First thing I always do.
Yeah.
The darkness didn't bother me, you know. But when you get in the summer and the sun never sets, or if it does, it's the opposite.
I didn't know that was a thing.
That was kind of the weird part. Oh yeah, yeah.
I wonder if they have. I wonder when that happens. I wonder if Native Alaskans just have a way of coping with that in terms of, all right, when it's summer and the days are literally always going to be days, we have a set of curtains specifically to block out sunlight so it can simulate some sort of night in our house so we can go to sleep.
Yeah, no, circadian rhythms are really dependent on the sun. No, regardless of when you wake up, the sun is integral in that. And there's a really cool thing that I learned about from Rogan, where there's like a projector thing that you'd buy your kid, except it's got a special light bulb, and so it doesn't look as fake like a light, and it puts a sun in the corner of your room, and then the sun sets while you're in bed. And so if you lay in bed and read a book or whatever, it takes like half an hour, and the sun will go from the corner of your room down to the edge and imitate a horizon. And they found that it actually remotely acts as like a placebo for the sun going down. So
interesting.
I was like, that's pretty fucking badass. I've been listening to music lately when I go to sleep, and I don't mean like
chill hop,
like ASMR music, you know. I'll go to YouTube and type in deep sleep river or deep sleep thunder and rain, and I'll put one on, and sometimes I vibe with it and other times I don't. Like the other night I went to sleep to some fucking Indian music or something. I don't know. There was like 3 instruments I couldn't even name. So I knew.
What do they call that? Not Bhangra music? It was just something a little bit more chill, or
I don't know. Like, you know how Indian music has those
was there like
high
percussions
cymbals in the background? Yeah, like ding, 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 ding,
a lot of percussions.
Yeah, those fucking. I don't know.
And then that one guitar that goes.
Basically, but it was like really quiet, and then it would switch, and I don't know. It was relaxing, and then dude, I really like it, man. It's been helping a lot, I think. But I not sleeping at home last night killed me, man. Ever since I bought this new bed, I've been sleeping so good, and you know, it's the consistency of sleeping in the same spot every night.
No more sleeping on the cement floor for Ricky.
I used to love sleeping on the floor when I was.
It's good because it keeps your back straight.
Yeah,
and, as opposed to just the 7 springs in your bed that just kind of shift you, and you look like the L-shape Tetris piece.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, no, I'm fucking. There's so much going on right now. Corey, where do you stand politically? Do you keep your nose out of the business? Are you pro Trump or pro Biden, or pro anarchy?
pro everybody shutting the fuck up.
The thing is, I mean, some things are inevitable. I mean, we do have to change our behavior when it comes to how we treat the earth,
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't believe. I mean, there's a guy that got on and started ranting and raving because I was in oil and gas, and I'm aware of how many things are made with oil and gas.
A lot.
How if we were to shut off oil and natural gas, what would happen? I mean, holy shit! We're not to that point. And I'm a true believer that a transition needs to happen, but it doesn't need to be shoved.
Yeah. No, I agree.
They shut down the pipeline. I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Because the whole purpose of the pipeline, the Keystone Pipeline, was to be able to transport that material, which can be considered hazard. You can consider it whatever you want, without having trucks on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you put crude oil in a tanker truck and you run it up and down the highway 3 times a week, I mean, if you can take that truck off the road, that helps.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you can shut off a valve, and it doesn't affect as much as if you shut down 10,000 trucks.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the effect on the people. And once we get ourselves set up with solar and wind and some of these other things and get them perfected,
Yeah.
you know, then we can transition. But we need to get the shit in place
Yeah.
to transition before we just say, okay, we're not going to do this anymore. And it's like, all right, well, that's cool. That makes people get excited and wave their papers in the streets and get together and hoorah. And then they hop in their cars and drive home. And then they wonder why gas is $5 a gallon in California.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, hey, if we're going to do this, let's think about what the hell we're doing.
I totally agree. No, I totally agree. I agree with Corey on this sentiment. You know, we're very dependent on the whole fossil fuel, crude oil energy source. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of items out there that depend on it, including, you know, our trucks, our cars, you know, even our electricity, you know, runs off of that. And it's a finite source. And Corey brings up a good point. And I've said this to many people. I go, we just need a transition. We need a transition plan. It's not pull the rug from underneath your feet and learn how to get back up because you just hit the cement floor and you might have a concussion. That's sometimes it feels like that's what's being proposed by some people. And that's not how it should be. It should be a transitional plan. It's all right. Let's, you know, start working on this. Let's put this in action. So then it kind of is a more smoother transition. Then we're all, you know, we'll still have the oil, but we're not using as much of it as we were before. I mean, you know, not to go off topic, but there's an episode of Mythbusters that showed that you could run a car on vodka.
Yeah, there's enough ethanol in it or whatever. Not ethanol. Yeah, no, is it ethanol? It's no.
I don't know.
I'm not a fucking.
I'm not a vodka guy.
Oh, I love vodka, but I don't know. I remember that because like there was I'm trying to think what the actual chemical in it was that made it work. But yeah, the movie.
Or no, it was moonshine. It was moonshine. It wasn't vodka. It was moonshine.
I've heard of it with certain types of really strong liquor though. Like you ever seen the movie Gamer, where it's like they're using soldiers
Was that Gerard Butler in that movie?
Yeah, fucking
no,
nice
I never
looking
seen
guy.
it.
A really good movie, but nonetheless, yeah, he tries to escape the video game world where like the IRL, I'm acting as a video game guy for the computer, who's the real person who's controlling me through a computer, and the like you would pay as a consumer to control a real soldier in a real war who's a prisoner, and if you win the war enough times, you eventually get out. It was kind of like this, you know, death race of fucking PvP, you know, fighting style, and he tries to escape by
concept,
drinking a shitload of liquor or whatever right before he goes out, and then he gets to a parking lot where all the cars are out of gas, and he pisses straight liquor into the gas tank and then starts the car. And you know what I mean? It was just like that was the first time in my life I was like, you can run a car and something like that. And it's like in theory.
I don't think there's. I mean, I'm not a fuel scientist,
I'm not the guy.
But I don't think that's a thing.
People can do it with soy oil in the back of their car, peanut fucking butter, whatever the fuck they ran it with.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I mean?
That's funny.
I gotta stop at the restaurant and fuel up.
Piss right into your gas can.
Oh man.
No, I don't.
When we can make I think the most dangerous and the best way we'll ever get with cars is if we can make them with hydrogen. You know what I mean? Water is the most abundant thing we have on the planet. If we can make a car run with hydrogen, all we got to do is pipe the ocean to the center of every fucking continent. And as long as we have a big lake full of something, you know, if we can make it process it with the salt, I'm sure salt has something to do with, you know, the difference between salt water and regular water has to be big. And so I don't know where hydrogen lies in that formula, but I know extracting hydrogen from water is not difficult. It's fucking super dangerous, but it's not difficult. You know, it's fundamental. If you do the same thing every time the correct way, you get the same result. You know,
right? In theory.
And no, but
you're
practice.
right.
No, like they don't. You know, you ever heard of the atom bomb factory blowing up because they fucked up? No, they make atom bombs perfect every time. If they fuck up, they don't tell us. You know what I mean?
Well, you did hear about Chernobyl, right?
Yeah, but like the Russians do anything right.
I remember
they got cheap. That's what happened.
Yeah, and then the guy, the lead engineer, whoever, the director, whoever it was trying to do a challenge, wanted to see if he can really push something to the limit.
So I watched the HBO series, which is loosely based on the real thing, and I've watched it twice front to back now. Talking about it, I might go watch it when I'm done with this and play video games because it's a fucking riveting series on HBO.
No.
Fucking riveting. No, it's honestly.
You changed my mind. I'm gonna watch it now.
I'm not gonna lie. Probably top 10 things I've ever watched. Documentary style, top 10 ever. And yeah, what it was they had to run a test where they would put the system into a point where they had to run on backup reserves only, and they knew that their version of their reactor wouldn't really perform like it should have at that rate, and so that what they were supposed to do was in a short amount of time decrease the power and then let it run on backup, prove that they could do it, power it back up, bada bing bada boom. They know that in a state of emergency they would have been okay, and that's what they needed to do to test it. But the problem was they rushed it because they were trying to impress the bosses, and big corporate was coming and all this shit. And so instead of doing something that based on the manual should have taken fucking a week to slow the power down properly and then do their test, they slowed the power down rapidly in one time. And there's all sorts of balances in a reactor. You have something that makes heat and then something that cools that, and then the combination of those two creates a new chemical that's poisonous. So you need something that when that chemical is created counteracts the poison, and then with the counteracting the poison creates a new problem. And so it's like they explain that in the lawsuit, in the courtroom is when they explain how a nuclear reactor works in layman's terms. And he explains it with 6 cards, and they weren't even in English. They were in Russian writing, and he's speaking English, and he's telling you, how it works. And in layman's terms, I understand how a nuclear reactor works. Like from that moment in the thing, it's like you have A, and A creates a problem and a solution. So you need to solve the problem, keep the solution, and then the new problem's created. And you follow that 6 tiers down, and that's how it runs. You get heat and your power and electricity, steam, and all this super crazy shit. But yeah, no, that's crazy, but it happened due to their own negligence. It didn't happen because the nuclear reactor
was hubris, negligence.
Both.
Well, and the way Russia went ahead and designed their rods, the uranium rods, they were supposed to use, I think it was
Yeah, I know
a different tip.
Yeah, like not.
Yeah,
I want to say graphite.
It was a design thing.
Yeah,
I think it was graphite. They were supposed to use a tip on there that, as they lowered the rod in or pulled the rod out, if they had to do it at an accelerated rate, the chemical reaction would level itself out in the water. And like he was saying, Russia is one of those places to this day that they do not admit accountability or guilt in something.
No, dude, the official death toll of Chernobyl is stupid low. Like millions of people were affected by the fucking radiation, and the amount of people who died was over like fucking thousands and thousands and thousands of people died from it. Everyone in the city close to it, as the ashes were flying out of the factory, died from it. And Russia's official death toll was in like double digits. They were like, Russia has admitted 61 people died from Chernobyl, and it was like, bro, the fucking every town died near Chernobyl.
Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining.
Yeah, well, shit. But you're talking about death toll because you can go back to COVID on that, and you can say, okay, like you were mentioning, they say, well, this person died of COVID, this person died of COVID.
Yeah.
And they disregard, but you got to look at it like from a car accident. So if a guy has a heart attack in a car driving down the highway, and it crashes into somebody or crashes into nobody, say he goes off, trains off the road, hits a light pole, some crazy shit, dies. He gets categorized of dying in a car accident.
Oh, for
sure. Not of the heart attack.
Yeah.
So, and it's the same thing with the way we prosecute people. If you murder somebody, you get actually prosecuted for the results of your actions, not your intentions. Completely. And I find that interesting too, because attempted murder means you went into this place with the intention of killing somebody, but you sucked at it.
Yeah.
And you fail. So you get a lesser charge. How is that any different?
Yeah, no,
basically it's like this guy gets a second chance to do something stupid because
something malicious.
But the guy, but the guy that actually did the deed, we're just gonna, go ahead and treat him different. I don't get it.
Little slap on the wrist there. Don't do it again. All right,
Yeah.
David, stop trying to murder. Leave Margaret alone, okay? You need to move to another state.
You guys got me peaked. I'm gonna have to go watch Chernobyl after this.
Oh, you're peaked? I'm so sorry.
Dude, no, I love that. I really love the show. I love the science behind it. It's a terrible travesty, but the other thing too was it was a really old reactor. Like they were running an older version of a reactor compared to the newer ones, and it was one of the last types of reactors. And the what?
Mm-hmm. The elephant's foot's still there.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they actually covered it. They domed it, and then they had to tear the dome down because they screwed up in building that.
Yeah, no,
but the radiation's still there. It's still seeping down.
That was the craziest thing.
They still have to keep it cool.
At the end of a documentary, it was fucking it was absolutely insane. They were showing that, like, while recording the show, they showed you real footage of people at Chernobyl post documentary, and they were putting a radiation meter on the suits in the show that the firemen wore when they went into the place to try to solve it. And still to this very day, the suits that were in the actual Chernobyl action from the firefighters still have enough radiation to kill you if you touch them. Like, radiation is not something you fuck with, But yeah, that was a fucking kick-ass show. We had some ups and downs trying to figure out guests, but no, thank you for popping in, Corey. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Talking about the firefighters thing, trying to solve the whole Chernobyl, that reminded me of how the firefighters, all the first rescue people that were called on in September 9/11 when the Twin Towers were attacked by terrorists or whatever.
The inhalation of all the dust and smoke.
That's still a number one death, and they're still. By the way, they add that as a death toll from 9/11 to 9/11. Every time someone dies from that inhalation of all that, they add that to the death toll. So it's still one of the most growing death tolls to this day. From a
post note and to show him enough for real. That shit fucks me up bad. I remember I was in elementary school when that shit happened. I remember watching that on TV in elementary school. Like, they had it on the TV and the teacher was just shaking their head.
I remember. I remember when the first tower when the first tower was hit, the school. They're showing this. They're like, oh, a plane crashed into. That was the first initial thought. A plane crashed into. It was a mistake. That was the first initial thought. What happened? We were a mystery. And while we're watching TV, all of a sudden you see this second plane go right into the building.
Yeah. And you were like, this is a terror
attack.
Holy
this is
shit.
Something. We went, I remember my school teacher my homeroom teacher just went, huh.
Yeah. Now there's a video of Jon Stewart, the guy from I think the Daily Show, maybe.
That's Daily Show.
Yeah, and I've seen the video like 5 times, and I still cry when I see it. He was in a courtroom, I want to say in New York, fighting for the rights of all the people who were involved in it, with hundreds of people behind him from it who had real damages from it. And dude, I'm thinking about it right now, and it's choking me up, because he actually got the court to give them the compensation, and he's like, this is fucking 15 years after the biggest travesty ever, and these firefighters were out there not waiting a second, dying to save people, and you can't give them the money to be treated for fucking doing the job that was done without a thought, and now you can't slap your gavel. And it was like, dude, he can speak very, very good,
very articulate cat,
dude. He's a big dick pontificator, I tell you.
Yeah, big time. So I don't know if you know this about firefighters or what firefighters do, but every year on September 11th, firefighters wear their full gear, go to a gym, and go on the Stairmaster and walk up the amount of stairs.
Oh, wow.
That the firefighters, because the original firefighters, and there's actually a documentary about this. You can find this on YouTube. There was this documentary crew that was following these New York firefighters. And the original intention of the documentary was to show the day in the life, the day-to-day of being a New York firefighter, or just a firefighter in general. And it turned into a 9/11 documentary right then and there. They had to follow them into the building the first time. These were the first responders. And one of the thing that they show in the documentary was that the elevators didn't work. They couldn't get up there. So they had to go with full gear on, walk up the stairs. So they walked up a ridiculous amount of flight of stairs with full gear on, tank, everything, coat, what have you. So there's firefighters that, in honor of them, go to a gym with their full gear on and just walk up do the Stairmaster until they hit the steps.
No, that's fucking crazy. No, that fucking. Thank you for being here, Corey. Do you have anything you want to plug on the show?
No, not really. I hope to make it back. Like I said, I'll be in West Virginia for quite a long time, but I should be available on Sundays because I think that's our day off. So
Cool. Yeah, no, we're happy to have you jump in, and appreciate you coming as a backup. You got any 1,000-word stories you want to plug, Leon?
Of course, you still got the gay thing. I want to do gay things with my femboy roommate. Still on the blog. Go check it out. Check out the blog. Read the Dungeons and Dragons campaign journal if you want. Check it out. Still foxes.home.blog. It's still there. You can read it.
Below the show.
The links are below, and of course, I got the story that I'm working on currently. The goal is to get it published way before the end of the year. I'm gonna look into self-publishing. I got a friend who can help me, is going to advise me on that if he's open to it. I hope he is. He's a really cool guy. Actually, he wrote a book about the how to write and publish and edit and etc. And I sent him the other day a text message just saying how much I had this this win, and it was because of his book. It was a part of it, and he felt so validated on that. So I felt very happy to but yeah, I'm working on this story currently. It looks like I'm looking at the end of the tunnel, the rough draft, and I'll keep you guys updated when it's out, baby.
Awesome. No, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for being here, Corey. And thank you, Leon.
No problem.
And yeah, maybe next week we'll have Spencer back here. And I don't know if it'll be a host only show or if we'll have guests, but thank you for listening. And if they won't listen, 39.
Boom, boom.